I'm here inside of the Sherman Firefly together with William. William, what is your position in the War Heritage Museum? Because I'll murder the name as well.
Well, I'm a chargé de mission, so that means that I have a task. I'm a retired soldier. I spent 38 years in the Belgian army, and I'm a tanker by trade.
That's amazing. So, what can you tell me about the Firefly?
What do you want me to tell you about the Firefly?
Anything. Tell me about the inside.
Well, the Firefly is a contraption. It's a basic Sherman tank, but with a hefty cannon. A bit too hefty maybe, but it was a very powerful 17-pounder instead of the 75mm, which gave the Sherman tank a chance against later German armor. The turret was really not able to carry this gun. It had to be counterbalanced. That is why you will find the radio set and intercom system in an armored box. This armored box is quite heavy, and it serves two purposes. First, of course, to protect the radio set in the rear of the turret, but also it's a counterweight to balance with this heavy gun. The turret itself had a little bit problems with this gun, since the turret lock was not really strong enough to block the turret. That is why when not in use you will often see the Sherman Firefly with his turret locked on the engine.
Interesting.
It is a very heavy gun. The rounds are very long, very powerful rounds. Fortunately, the Sherman tank is quite high, which gives you means to maneuver with the rounds.
How many rounds could it hold?
I'm not sure exactly. I think 52 rounds, I think.
Okay, wow, that's actually more than I thought.
But I'm not quite sure. The engine, on contrast, on this one here, is a Chrysler multi-bank engine, and it is so powerful that it's probably the fastest Sherman I ever saw.
How fast can it go?
More than 40 kilometers an hour, 45, nearly 50 when you twinkle it a bit.
Okay.
But when you see on the column, you will see this one running really before all the others.
Here's the gun breech. Anything in particular?
Nothing really. It has a 45 degrees inclination. Instead of being upwards, the breech has been put it aside, which makes it easier for the loader to present the hefty round into the breech itself. It's a very heavy cannon. When you compare it to a 75mm cannon, it's twice the size. It has a really long barrel, which is also for the drivers not so easy, because they were not so used to these long barrels. Also, the Germans tended to pick them out because there was only one per platoon, and that is why when you take pictures outside, you will see this white waving. It's an optical illusion,
yeah.
Which when you look at it very quickly, you think it's a short barrel.
Oh, interesting. I'm thinking about the living conditions inside of the vehicle and how it was for them.
Well, it's pretty hefty if you're not used to it. After a while, it gets you home. It gets to become your home. Living in a tank is a strange experience. In this one, you live with 4 people. So it gives you a little bit more room, but normally in a Sherman it's 5 people.
5 people.
But of course, with this kind of breach in the middle of you,
oh yeah,
life is not easy. But soldiers tend to be resourceful, and they make a home out of everything. And a tank is only as good as its crew, and normally the crew bonds together in their tank.
And with the tank as well,
and
a little
with
bit,
the tank as well, yes. It was always a disgrace when they had to leave their tank or change for something else. Later, in some more peaceful times, one crew, one tank all the time. It bonds the crew with the vehicle, and maintenance levels were very high, yes.
Interesting. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want an explanation about the multi-bank engine?
Yeah, in a second, once I'm done recording here.
Okay. They even want to start it up if you want to film.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to check on my phone. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.